a variety of sports anytime, anywhere. OneXBet app at the heart of the game.
I need the police that can respond to emergencies fast.
I want the equipment I need to do my job.
I want a police that won't harass or arrest me for no just reason.
I want to be valued for my work, not feared by honest people.
I want a police that won't ask me anything for the boys.
I want a decent salary that is paid on time.
If it happen with good laws,
Proper funding,
Training.
And cooperation.
if it happen,
If it happens.
If it happen.
Want the best in news, info, and entertainment. NCA 10. NCA 10. The super channel in sports and documentaries. NCA 10. NCA 10. Even with movies, cartoon, and live talk show. Hot bad boys don't go for nothing less. NCA 10 station for excellence. NCA 10 station for excellence.
NTA 10, station for excellence.
Welcome to Smart Lagos, your window into the ideas and initiatives transforming the center of excellence, from environmental renewal and education reforms to international partnerships and expanding economic opportunities. Lagos continues to take bold steps toward a smarter future under the leadership of Governor Babajide Sanwo-Olu. Join us as we highlight the stories shaping the future of the city this week. I am Oluwabukola Akonde.
Distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen.
This week in Lagos, your window into the heartbeat of Africa's largest city.
We begin with effort by the Lagos State government to promote a cleaner and healthier environment. The monthly environmental sanitation exercise, which was suspended several years ago following a court ruling, has now been revived in compliance with the law. Governor Babajide Sanwo-Olu performed this symbolic flag-off at the Mushin-Agege Motor Road corridor.
With this symbolic flag-off by Governor Babajide Sanwo-Olu, the Lagos State government is reviving the culture of monthly environmental sanitation after nearly a decade. This time without restricting movement and relying on voluntary participation by residents. The governor explained that the exercise will now run from 6:30 to 8:30 a.m. on the last Saturday of every month.
The responsibility remains with us. And so today's symbolic flag-off is therefore a newer call on that civic responsibility. It is an opportunity for us to revive the culture, environmental consciousness in our communities and in our society. This time, it will be driven by awareness, it will be driven by partnership, and it will be driven by voluntary participation. Government will continue to strengthen waste management system, will continue to improve our drainage infrastructure, and continue to support environmental enforcement across the state. But the truth remains that government cannot keep Lagos clean alone. actions as simple as disposing of our materials, our packets, our plastic bottles, our old wrappers, all of our solid waste can make a real difference. When waste is carelessly thrown on our streets, into our drains, the effect is that you see that no amount of work we do on this road, it will always remain failed. And so each of us therefore has a role to play. At our homes, all of you are looking at me. In your shops, in your markets, in your neighborhood, and in your places of work. I encourage you, as Community Development Association, as market leaders, as youth organizations, as political groups, as religious bodies, as CDCs and CDA, as institutions across Lagos, to take ownership of this responsibility and help sustain a culture of cleanliness in our community. They say a clean Lagos begins with the choice that we make every day. Let us be part of that choice. Let us be part of a changed environment.
Commissioner for Environment and Water Resources, Tokunbo Wahab, said the reintroduction is meant to promote healthier communities, reduce flooding, and strengthen waste management across Lagos.
It's taking us over a year to debate, to talk, and to agree that it's time to reintroduce the monthly environmental sanitation. It's a plea to Lagosians. It's a plea that it's time for us to give up just 1 or 2 hours a month.
Residents who took part in the exercise welcomed the initiative, saying it would help restore cleanliness and improve hygiene in their communities.
If they can bring Loma police, then put along that road. Anybody that drop something there must be catch and prosecuted. Because all these things, we are tired of all these things.
Also, we will help ourselves. Even inside the street, everybody should have a dustbin in front of his house. So if dustbin people come, they will pack the dustbin inside there.
We are wishing this opportunity to thank government, please, for us to make everywhere to be clean more than this. They are doing their best, but one more better than this.
Observers note that the long-term success of the revived sanitation exercise would depend on consistent public participation across the state.
Distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen.
This week in Lagos, your window into the heartbeat of Africa's largest city.
Lagos is also positioning itself at the center of continental trade and investment. The state has secured the hosting right for the Intra-African Trade Fair 2027, a major platform expected to attract thousands of businesses, investors, and policymakers from across Africa.
Since its launch in 2018, the Intra-African Trade Fair has facilitated billions of dollars in deals, positioning it as one of Africa's largest platforms for business and cross-border trade. Governor Babajide Sanwo-Olu says Lagos is ready to deliver a world-class experience.
It is a time for Africa to take its rightful place in the global stage. And if we're indeed serious about that, the likes of what AfroExim and what the EU and African Commission have birthed for us, the minimum we can do as a government is to continue to validate that. And so I want to assure you that the CANEX event coming up in Lagos later in the year will be a masterpiece. It will be one of the biggest that you have seen, because you know that Lagos is not just a commercial economic nerve center of our country. It's the entertainment capital of Africa, and we will bring it to the fullness of it. You will see a CANEX that you've never seen before, and we will be true with our promise. And come the big one, IATF 2027, we will ensure that not only do we put our best foot forward, we will not disappoint all of you. Baba, you'll be alive and strong. We will not disappoint you. And that disappointment is scheduled on the promise and the commitment of Mr. President himself, the President of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, Asiwaju Bola Ahmed Tinubu, who you know too well had run this state at some point in time. And so it's still the energy and the spirit of Lagos that he's taking to the federal government. And he has given both the minister and ourselves the marching order to ensure that next year, at the IATF 2027, Nigeria represents Africa very well, and I'll be doing it with everything that we have. So I want to assure all of you that in my PRC, all the dots have not been fully crossed or have not been fully knit together. We will ensure that the dots, the T's are crossed and the I's are dots very well. And the event that we have seen here today, which is the signing, the country signing, we will do everything possible to ensure that it will also be the best IATF that we've seen on the continent of Africa.
For the Minister of Industry, Trade and Investment, Jumoke Oduwole, the fair represents a unique opportunity to strengthen the single African market and foster confidence among business communities across the continent.
Nigeria is truly proud to host the Intra-African Trade Fair 2027 in Lagos, Nigeria. Looking forward to 2027, and as we host Africa's largest marketplace, underscored by the AfCFTA agreement, we have the opportunity to reflect on our reality and design the future of African trade integration and economic transformation.
Former President Olusegun Obasanjo chairs the IATF 2027 Advisory Council.
I wish to reaffirm the commitment of the IATF 2027 Advisory Council, of which I am the chairman, in collaboration with our partners and the House and the host country, Nigeria, to orchestrate an exceptionally successful 5th edition of the Intra-African Trade Fair here in Lagos, Nigeria. It is imperative that through the IATF, we endeavor to elevate our standards and achievements as we advance towards realizing our developmental aspirations, as outlined in the African Union's Agenda 2063, the Africa we want, and in achieving the objective of fostering continental integration within a unified marketplace presented by the Africa Continental Free Trade Agreement. We have to work hard to keep moving towards the Africa we want. IATF is one of the instruments we must use to achieve the desirable objective.
With over 1,000 exhibitors expected and billions in trade on the line, the 2027 Intra-African Trade Fair promises not just commercial activity, but a defining platform for African business growth and investment.
Distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen.
This week in Lagos, your window into the heartbeat of Africa's largest city.
In the quest to improve power supply and strengthening energy regulation, the Lagos State government has inaugurated the board of Lagos State Electricity Regulatory Commission. Governor Babajide Sanwo-Olu says the move is aimed at driving stable and reliable electricity for residents.
The Lagos State Electricity Regulatory Commission Board, chaired by Alexander Ogunbiyi, is expected to strengthen the regulatory framework that will support Lagos's drive toward a reliable and sustainable power supply. Governor Babajide Sanwo-Olu said the inauguration of the board underscores his administration's determination to reposition the power sector for improved service delivery. He noted that the state government is committed to creating a stable and transparent regulatory environment that will attract investments, boost electricity generation, and ultimately guarantee consistent power supply to residents and businesses across Lagos.
The whole idea around ensuring that we can, put electricity on every street as humanly possible is because we also want to enhance and enable life, of our people 24/7. We want to ensure that there's safety, there's peace, there's there is a lot of, confidence in all of our communities that they can walk, they can see, and, there's light everywhere.
The Commission will be responsible for overseeing licensing, tariff regulation, consumer protection, market monitoring, and the overall governance of the activities of electricity activities within Lagos State.
Responding on behalf of the board members, the chairman, Alexander Ogubuyi, assured that the commission would carry out its mandate with diligence, transparency, and accountability.
We also are grateful to Your Excellency for inaugurating the board today. We recognize the responsibility and expectations that accompany this role, and we humbly accept the mandate to serve.
The Lagos State Electricity Regulatory Commission was established to regulate electricity generation, transmission, and distribution within the state.
Distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen.
This week in Lagos, your window into the heartbeat of Africa's largest city.
Meanwhile, Lagos is expanding its global partnership. Governor Babajide Sanwo-Olu recently received the ambassador of Mexico to Nigeria, Alfred Miranda Ortiz, with the discussion focused on strengthening cooperation in culture, tourism, and economic development.
The visit by Ambassador Alfredo Miranda Ortiz, accompanied by the Honorary Consul of Mexico in Lagos, Abiodun Otunla, is aimed at strengthening diplomatic ties and exploring opportunities for collaboration between Mexico and Lagos State in areas such as trade, tourism, and cultural exchange.
This gives us opportunity to open our economy towards almost all the world. Still, it's important to work with Nigeria. It's important to work with Lagos in areas where we are going to concite, not only trade, not only how to enhance bilateral trade, how to increase the presence of Nigerians in Mexico and the Mexicans in Nigeria, and basically here. This is one of our goals, the opportunity that we have now with the presence of Mexico in Lagos.
Governor Babajide Sanwo-Olu described Mexico's decision to establish an honorary consulate in Lagos as a significant step toward deepening diplomatic and economic relations with Nigeria. He also reaffirmed the state government's readiness to partner with Mexico to promote cultural exchange, strengthen security cooperation, and expand investment opportunities.
When people also talk about insecurity in Nigeria, people think that, every part of the country, so we know it too well. And so that should not reduce or debar off from doing the business that we need to do or for creating the cultural exchange and the tourism potentials that are abound in the two countries. And I want to say, Mr. Ambassador, that one of the things we should consider extremely, is the tourism, is the cultural aspect, because I know, I see the very rich Mexican culture, the arts, the crafts, the music, and it's something that we can learn from each other.
The engagement is expected to further strengthen economic and cultural ties between Lagos State and Mexico. In Lagos.
Distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen.
This week in Lagos, your window into the heartbeat of Africa's largest city.
In another development, the Lagos State government is introducing new measures to strengthen families and prevent domestic violence through the Lagos State Domestic and Sexual Violence Agency. An online premarital counseling course has been launched to equip religious marriage counselors with the tools to properly guide intending couples.
The newly launched Religious Premarital Counseling online course is designed to equip pastors, imams, and other faith-based counselors with structured knowledge and practical tools to guide intending couples. The online course will feature 10 modules developed by experts in family life education, psychology, and marriage administration, combining faith-based guidance with legal awareness and domestic violence prevention frameworks. Executive Secretary of the agency, Titilola Vivo Adeniyi, said the program recognizes the critical role religious institutions play in preparing couples for marriage and addressing relationship challenges.
Over the past 6-7 months, we've been working assiduously on developing this content. We have erudite, seasoned facilitators take religious marriage counselors on critical modules, love code, communication, understanding the concept of marriage, the psychology behind it, and of course, relevant laws that are in place to address issues that can occur in marriage or in the family setting.
Experts at the event welcomed the initiative, noting that it would strengthen counseling practices and help couples build healthier and more fulfilling marriages.
We're in the Mogo Park era. Now we are now in the Jet age. In fact, I think we are now in a Gen Alpha, whereby internet is now the order of the day. So in order to reach out to the grassroots, to the local community, so this program, this initiative becomes very, very imperative, so that everybody can be well informed, can know what to do, how to mitigate this kind of violence, and even the younger one will now begin to know that there are some acceptable and unacceptable, behaviors in the society.
Ability to partake in the online program with what NASFAT and other religious bodies are doing, it will be able to help and assist in consolidating a very good good marriages.
What this will do, the 10-week training course, by the time we spread it, to the grassroots of all the clergymen, it will position them in a way where they are able to train them very well.
It is developed to equip them with the requisite knowledge and to be able to help couples.
The state government says the program forms part of its broader strategy to prevent sexual and gender-based violence and promote safer homes across Lagos.
Distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen.
This week in Lagos, your window into the heartbeat of Africa's largest city.
And in education sector, the Lagos State government has unveiled the Lagos Education Access Fund, a $25 million initiative designed to improve literacy, enhance learning outcomes, and address the challenge of out-of-school children across the state.
The Lagos Education Access Fund, which specifically targets the more than 200,000 out-of-school children, is expected to address gaps in basic education and drive reforms in line with the state's Themes Plus agenda. Governor Babajide Sanwo-Olu says the fund would provide opportunities for every child to learn and build a purposeful future, reinforcing his commitment to an executive order that keeps school-age children off the streets between 8 a.m. and 4 p.m.
The Lagos Education Access Funds program that we're launching here today builds on this achievement while introducing an innovative approach to financing education and improving learning outcomes. That's a very strong operative word, learning outcomes. Through our partnership with the Education Outcome Fund and other development partners, they've supported us by $25 million outcomes-based education fund. Lagos State will help drive a program designed to support over 200,000 children across our communities. Under this initiative, we aim to enroll up to over 50,000 out-of-school children between the ages of 6 and 14 into mainstream. At the same time, the program will support efforts at strengthening educational literacy and numeracy outcomes for 150,000 pupils who are already enrolled in schools, but ensuring that these children are not only present in classrooms, but they're truly that are needed for long-term successes.
Lagos State Commissioner for Basic and Secondary Education, Tolani Ali Balogun, reaffirmed the government's commitment to strengthening strategic partnerships and accelerating access to education.
We accelerate the mission of ensuring that every child potential is realized through access to basic education. Hence our commitment to creating an enabling platform for collaboration with development partners, donors agencies, and other critical stakeholders who share our visions of transforming education in Lagos State to meet global standards.
We've helped 100,000 of young people and children living in poverty to learn and gain meaningful employment. And we have launched the biggest impact bonds and outcomes funds in the world in education, from early childhood across basic education to youth employment.
And I think for us, it's very exciting. For me, it's very exciting to be here today to see the launch of this program. And we are here today because too many children still experience barriers that keep them out of school, and too many that are in school are not yet learning at the level that is required for them to thrive. This is not unique to Lagos. It's a problem across the country and indeed across the continent. But in a fast-growing and dynamic state like Lagos, the consequences are immediate and profound. When children are not learning, their futures are constrained from the beginning. And Dr. Mal shared her personal story, and we can all say in this room that education made a difference in our life. Education is a great equalizer. It doesn't matter where you come from, but if we all have a chance to be in school, it's a great equalizer.
We are happy to at least to address the issues in out-of-school children and other matters relating to basic education.
The event also featured drama presentations, a documentary, and testimonials that highlighted the impact of the administration's initiatives in the education sector.
Distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen.
This week in Lagos, your window into the heartbeat of Africa's largest city.
That's it on the edition of Smart Lagos. Thank you for watching. I am Oluwabukola Akonde. See you next time.
Want the best in you.